crows don't say boo. In fact, they don't say anything at all. Yet, as Luke Burbank tells us, their presence is a scare tactic all the same.
It's a warm autumn day here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. And Halloween is in the air. Welcome to the 37th annual Peddler's Village Scarecrow Festival, where you can take in the view or take part in a years-old tradition.
My mother and father started this.
Donna Jamison's family started the festival back in the 1970s.
It's a great thing to come out on a beautiful fall day and do something with your family, and then you can take it home and display it.
And that's exactly what Mike and Mary Parashek of Philadelphia have been doing for more than 20 years.
It takes my next-door neighbor a couple days to get used to it. He used to work late at night. He pulled in the one time and he thought somebody was sitting on my front porch, and here it was the Scarecrow.
I would not be just a nuffin', my head all full of stuffin', my heart all full of pain.
And what could be more nostalgic than scarecrows? Remember The Wizard of Oz?
If I only had a brain.
This has always been one of my favorite movies, along with my daughter. So, I don't know, just scarecrows they're a good thing.
A good thing that actually goes back to the very beginnings of farming. Not long after people learned how to grow crops, they started losing them to birds. They've tried catching the winged menace or even using kids to scare them away. But mainly, they've put up these lone figures standing guard, which is what most of us think of when we hear the word scarecrow. But these days, traditional scarecrows, like this guy, they're just for decoration. Modern farmers scare away birds using a little more bang.
We use bird cannons, reflective tape. We use distress calls. We want the birds to eat the neighbors' cherries, not ours.
Kyle Matheson owns Stamilt Farms in Wenatchee, Washington. He's one of the largest cherry producers in the country.
These are all bird damage. It's just a constant, battle.
Step up, step up.
It's a battle he wages with some unexpected weapons, like this falcon.
We came in and there was a group of finches in here.
Who you may or may not know is the natural predator of the finches and robins that are looking to feast on Matheson's cherries.
And he caught it in there and took it down. It's my path. They get used.
But it turns out sometimes even the falcons have a hard time saying no.
And he is eating a cherry now, which is to some degree defeating the purpose, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know why he's doing that.
Birds devour at least $30 million in cherries every year, and that's just in Washington state alone, which helps explain why farmers will try anything to save their crops. Like these weird, floppy, inflatable figures, the kind you might see at a used car lot.
We do move Mr. Pino around to different spots in the vineyard, and that also helps the birds not become used to the damn things.
Ted Marks owns Atwater Vineyards in the Finger Lakes region of New York. He got the idea for Mr. Pino, and yes, that's his name, from researchers at Cornell University. And he says of all the things he's tried to scare off birds, Mr. Pino works the best.
Because it's ever-changing. It just keeps the birds away.
For farmers, their very way of life depends on defeating these winged thieves. But what about the birds?
Do you ever feel a little bad for the birds?
I haven't felt that bad for them. I always feel they get their share, Even with all these things, they still eat quite a few cherries.
And really, who can blame them?